Hey troops, here we go with, did Jesus declare all foods clean? Simple answer. If a Christian says that to you, you can say, no, he didn't. So I wish it was that easy. No, he didn't. That comes from Mark chapter 7, verse 19. I did remember that. Good for me. Even though I looked just to make sure I wasn't goofing up, because I probably do goof up a lot. Jesus never did declare all foods clean. In Mark chapter 7, what Jesus is doing is he's fighting with the religious jerks of the time, the Pharisees. All right, these guys were doing all sorts of bad stuff. They were judging people on keeping ceremonial rituals, washing their hands properly, eating the right foods, be it meat or vegetables, didn't matter, just eating the right foods, foods that weren't offered to idols, foods that weren't sacrificed, things like that. Jesus is saying to them, hey, you're doing wrong. You can't put your man-made laws above God's laws, all right? We need to keep God's laws. Next, he's going into saying that it's not these rituals, it's not what you do or what you eat, it's what's in your heart that makes you acceptable to God. The foods you eat, you're just going to poop it out. It says that. I love that it says that. But yeah, it's a good point to think of, because all these rituals are not going to make you holy before God, make God say, oh, wow, you're a cool guy, come on into heaven. No, it's what's in your heart. Okay, even if you screw up, God's going to look at you and say, I know you tried. I see your heart. Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Enter into the joy of the Lord. You're doing vegan outreach to somebody, and they bring this up. Now, at least you got some background. But now let me get to the verse 19. I'm going to read to you. It says, thus he declared, Jesus speaking, he declared all foods clean. It's written like that in the New International Version, the English Standard Version, is that the New American Standard Bible? I forget the letter NASB. But either way, it's in several of the more recent written versions. And remember, any version of the Bible you read in English, it's a translation. The Bible is Greek, Hebrew, Aramaic. None of it was written in English, which means somebody who translated it had the opportunity to translate it the way they saw fit. Now, sometimes they saw it fit to add their own thoughts. Now, I'm not saying stuff was added to the Bible, okay? A lot of Christians you're outreaching to, they believe in inerrancy, like everything in the Bible is perfect. You don't want to argue that, but you do want to bring up about a point, which is in these versions. Look at the sentence, thus he declared all foods clean. It's written in parentheses. If it's in parentheses, that means the guy who did the translation thought, I needed to add something for clarification. But this is God's inspired word. But for clarification, I'm just going to add it here in parentheses so you know it's separate from God's inspired word. All right, you see? It was very nice of them to do that. But all of a sudden, people started to think, oh, Jesus declared all foods clean. He didn't. That's an addition for clarification by a translator. If you're talking to a Christian who is only a King James kind of person, King James version of the Bible, that works out fine because that sentence isn't even in there. See, the older translations of the Bible, that doesn't exist. Even the older ones than that. I don't think it's in the Wycliffe. I don't think it's in the... I have to check that. Isn't that great? I just thought of that while I'm talking to y'all. All right. But so it's not in there. If they pull out the King James Version and look, you don't even have to have this argument. If they do pull out one of the more recently written translations, they'll see that it's in parentheses. Your rebuttal to them is going to be, that was written by a translator because it's in parentheses. So yeah, easy one to win. Go with it. Have fun. Hope it works out. Yo, peace, love, all things groovy.